Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Siboga TV, which is the home of politics. Today, we want to have a candid discussion about Fred Matiang'I and David Kenani Maraga. These two political leaders who are eyeing the presidency of this nation are actually coming from the same region. And people are suspicious that one of them is going to divide the votes. But these two leaders have actually come into a political scene because they have made it in the service of this nation. These two people have actually made themselves to have an eye in the Kenyans. And that is why I want to have a critical analysis about them. But before I dive in to dissect for you all that, I could request you kindly to take a minute and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Give this video a like, share the video to your friend or friends. And also, whenever you subscribe to this YouTube channel, always make sure to hit the notification bell, because by doing that, you will give YouTube permission so that you can get notified to watch any political content that we upload into YouTube. And for those ones who have actually subscribed to our YouTube channel and they always keep watching our videos, I say thank you and may God bless you, because you always give us the inspiration to continue coming up with this kind of political analysis. And now let us go back to the topic about these two political leaders who are eyeing the seat of presidency. David Kenani Maraga, the Chief Justice at one moment. Fred Matiang'I, the man who worked as a super CS in Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta government, a man who actually represented Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, and who many people feel that he was then the deputy president of this republic, even if we had the current president by then being the deputy, William Samoei Arap Ruto. So these two political leaders from the Gusii nation, or are sons of the Gusii, they actually have come to the limelight, to the national discourse of politics, majorly because of what they have done and how they have shown the Kenyans that they are capable. But there are questions which most Kenyans ask themselves. Why can't they accept one person to go forward and step at presidency? Because they come from the same Gusii region. Because Maraga comes from Nyamira County. Fred comes from Nyamira County. Both are sons of Gusii. So that question is always lingering in people's mind. Another question which always people are asking, who is better among them? Because even if they have worked hard to represent themselves to the nation, there is obvious one person who is better. And another question which has been on the limelight is that who has the Gusii votes? On the other hand, we can say, or we can ask, who is the king of the Gusii nation? Because from the same place, we cannot have two kings. It is definitely, we must have one king. At the same time, we have to ask ourselves, why are these two political leaders attracting such a huge attraction in the entire nation. Now, let me start to give you simple details about each of them. David Kenani Maraga has been known to the nation because he is a person who believes in the law. He has been in the judiciary side all along. He was there as the president of the judiciary, as the chief justice of the judiciary, and he commanded more respect when he told Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta and William Samoei Arap Ruto that they should go back when they were elected, and when he believed that the election was shambled. He is a person in the entire Africa and the nation and the world at large who has actually told the incumbency government that they have not won and they should go back to do fresh election. And this actually attracted Kenyans to start viewing David Kenani Maraga, and he became a darling of the many. And David Kenani Maraga has always told the nation that what is lacking in this nation is people who believe in the rule of law. If people will respect the rule of the law, then everything in this nation will go back to its normalcy, will go back into its place. Because nobody will engage in corruption. The rule of law will be respected. Our structures will actually work because people obey the rule of the law, because people will do what the spirit of the constitution demand, and therefore the country will actually move forward. That is what it represents to the Kenyans, and that is why he wants to be the president of this republic. Now let me go back to Fred Okengo Matiang'I. Fred Okengo Matiang'I has been in the government of, or was in the government of Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta for 2 consecutive terms. And when he was in different ministries, he performed exemplary. When he was in ICT, he made the communication sector to move from analog to digital, even if at that time many people were against that. And that has made Kenya that you can get information, you can be in the internet in any corner of the Republic of Kenya you are. So that is the first thing Fred Okengo Matiang'I did. When he was in the Ministry of Education, he was a no-nonsense man. He made exams, or he streamlined the exam sector, and he stopped massive cheating in the exams, which has been practiced for very many years. When he was in the interior sector, he performed exemplarily. He made the nation to have enough security. And because of all that, Fred Okengo Matiang'I is actually described as a super CS because he made everything to be done into the Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta government. He made the government to run. He is also described as a no-nonsense person. And lastly, he is described as a performer, as Mr. Fix-It. And that has actually attracted the huge following in the political scene. And that is why people feel that it is Fred Okengo Matiang'I who is going to fix it. So if you have heard and you have listened very keenly, you can hear that these 2 political leaders, David Kenani Maraga and Fred Okengo Matiang'I, they have actually worked so hard to make themselves to come into the political discourse and for Kenyans to respect them so much, and for the Kenyans to see that if one of them will be in the high office, the office of presidency, then he can fix the problems that aid or is ailing the Kenya nation. But now the question is, these two people have represented into the political arena. They have represented themselves into this republic called Kenya. And if you look at each other, you can see Maraga as represented himself and is being followed by many young people. He is seen as a lover of the Gen Zs because the Gen Zs feel that they need a person who respects the law to be the president of this republic. And also, people feel that it is Mr. Fix-It who should be the president of this republic. They need Fred Okengo Matiang'I to fix this nation because they need a performer. And because of that no-nonsense character, because of the Mr. Fix-It description, people believe that it is now for Fred Okengo Matiang'I to take this nation forward. And now another question is, who has the Gusii nation between the two politicians? And to give you an answer to that, if you go in every corner of the Gusii nation, you will find that Fred Okengo Matiang'I has actually taken the entire Gusii nation. And people have come to a conclusion that it is Fred Okengo Matiang'I who is going to represent the community in the national discourse, not because David Kenani Maraga is wrong, not because David Kenani Maraga is not fit, but because Fred Okengo Matiang'I came into the political eye a bit earlier. He said he was going to come into the political discourse a bit earlier, and he has done a lot to cement that. At the same time, it looks that the big political wigs have actually supported Fred Okengo Matiang'I, because if you get a person of the stature of the former president supporting you, that means you will attract a lot of attention. That means you will make people to start believing that probably this is the man. And because Fred has the backing of the former president, and because Fred has a bigger political party than UDM of David Kenani Maraga, the people of the Gusii nation, they feel that it is Yani Fred Okengo Matiang'I who should represent the community. And that is why, as I have said, Fred Okengo Matiang'I has a upper hand and is very acceptable to a greater extent to be the person who is becoming as the spokesman or the spokesperson of the Gusii nation. Having answered that question, that in the Gusii nation, it is Fred Okengo Matiang'I who commands. And that makes many people to ask that question, because now it is Fred Matiang'I who commands. Why can't David Kenani Maraga step down and allow Fred Matiang'I to move forward. But the question is simple. These two people have worked so hard to be where they are. And from the side of David Kenani Maraga, he is being pushed up by the Gen Z community. And that is why he might not back off, because he believes that he has been trusted a lot by the Gen Zs, by people who feel that he is the person who should go for presidency of this nation. But definitely, probably at one point, one of them might step down for the other. And the person who will step down for the other, it should be David Kenani Maraga. But it is not cast on stones that should happen. Probably they can go both up to the end. They can go both to the electorate to decide. So, in simple terms, Fred Matiang'I has actually attracted many followers from the entire republic, and he has a stronger backing from the Gusii nation. That's what we have to say. But now the question I will throw to you is, who do you think is better to lead this nation forward? Is it David Kenani Maraga with his judiciary scorecard, or it is Fred Matiang'I with the scorecard of performance, with the scorecard of being a no-nonsense man, with the scorecard that he can turn this nation into glory? Who do you think deserves it? Please drop your comment in the comment section below. And if this is your first time to bump into this YouTube channel, I request you kindly to take a minute and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Give this video a like, share the video to your friends, and if your friends are lovers of politics, then it is good to request them for us to subscribe to this YouTube channel. And whenever you subscribe to our YouTube channel, always make sure to hit the notification bell. And for those ones who have actually subscribed to this YouTube channel and they will always keep watching, I say thank you, because you always give us the inspiration to continue coming up with this kind of political analysis. And with all that, I say thank you so much until we meet in our next political discussion. Goodbye.